Hi, this question was for Ed. The healthcare compact bill that amazingly was passed in the Missouri House and Senate and the governor let lay long enough for it to become law is now Missouri state law. And I look at Obamacare as a 12-headed hydra that we need to attack from every possible point. And while the healthcare compact would probably not be at the top of my list, there's a number of other states that have also, that's become state law. The next step in that process is the states getting together and creating that compact, where they're saying this is what we choose to do for our health care. The next step is it has to be passed through the United States House, which I think should be an easy sell, and then be passed through the Senate. It does not have to be signed by the President. If those hurdles are passed, that supersedes federal law. And my question is, are you familiar with what the states are doing, Missouri being one of them, that have passed the healthcare compact to bring that to fruition? My thinking is also, if that process goes through and it then goes to the Senate, that's going to be at an election time, and people like Claire McCaskill will have to choose between voting in favor of their state controlling its own health care or voting against her own state controlling their own health care. And I think that would put a tremendous amount of pressure on the quote-unquote blue dog Democrats in the Senate.
Well, I'm not an expert on the healthcare compact, but I will tell you that this is a fight. I think someone said earlier, this is a fight that we've got to take on at every level. But let me point out a couple things. I mean, Jim, I hope you're going to talk in a minute about the fact that Missouri, not only did we pass the healthcare compact law, not only did we have the proposition that 71% of the people voted for that said, please don't do this. By the way, I don't think Senator Jane Cunningham is here, but no gathering that talks about these issues will be complete without mentioning her name and thanking her for doing that. But not only have we done all that, we've also had vocal opposition publicly from the legislature on these issues. I think there's been some confusion on the health care, the exchange, and I think Jim will talk about it. We've had all of that, and yet we have two problems in Missouri. One problem is that the Attorney General, who's supposed to litigate these cases, is Attorney General Chris Koster, is hiding under his desk or traveling around trying to find, the puppy mills or whatever he's doing. He's not taking on this issue. And I think what we have to have, and I know Bill's an attorney, I'm an attorney, Dave Rowland, I keep mentioning his name, we have to have fearless lawyers in office that will take this on. So the first thing I'd say is that our Attorney General, he finally filed a brief that actually said, I think Obamacare might be unconstitutional, but I really like the policy, and I'm not sure, and I'm going back under my desk as quick as I can, and just don't tell the Democrats or the Republicans. Mitch, I don't know, it's a summary. Mitch Hubbard may know better. But so as to the health care compact, here's what I would say. I think that health care compact, my read of other states, is it's unlikely to be successful in enough states. I think it's convoluted in some ways. People don't quite understand it, and I don't think that that's going to be the most successful way. I happen to think that a state, whether it's Missouri or another state, will actually nullify Obamacare. And I think that will set up a showdown. Everybody here should thank Scott Walker for showing the country that you can stand up, that you can stand up to the unions and to what's gone on. But I have to be candid with you. Scott Walker's, what he did was a question of state law. He said our state's laws are bad. What he doesn't know is that if Obama wins again and they get their way, the NLRB, the National Labor and Relations Board, will do to the whole country what they did in Wisconsin over 25 years. So that was a fight over state law. The next fight is going to be a governor with a guy like Lembke and Nieves and a gal like Cunningham and Curtman and others who are going to say, hey, wait, as to the structure of our country, you're not allowed to do this. And that's going to set up a fight, a question of the sovereignty of we the people that I think is the future, because it's not just Obamacare. We got to win that argument. Then we got to move on to things like EPA and FERC, and everybody else knows that there's a bunch of them. So I'm not as high on the compact, I'll be candid with you.
Thank you.